welcome to this week's very smiley, happy after show. Coming up later, we'll be delighted to talk to Doctor Who's other executive producer, Brian Minchin, about taking the show to sunny Spain. Are you happy to be here, Brian?
Very happy.
Good. I'm happy too. But first, we've got 5 minutes with the man who is Who right now, Peter Capaldi. Well, firstly, thank you so much, Peter, for coming on the show. And this is all a bit déjà vu. I think last time we sat down like this was 2015.
Yeah, but we were abroad, weren't we? We were in an exotic hotel.
Yeah, yeah.
We're in an exotic hotel now.
We are.
It's in the UK.
Yeah, yeah.
We can't reveal the location.
No, it's top secret.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of exotic places, Spain. You filmed there for episode 2, the City of Arts and Sciences in Valencia, which is an incredible location.
Yes.
What was it like to film there?
It was great. It was the Spanish have a great interest in architecture, so they have many buildings that look extraordinary and look extraordinarily futuristic. So this particular set of buildings suited us because it looked like an empty, futuristic city. But of course, it's actually in a real city. So just across the road, you can go and have lovely espressos and tapa and stuff like that. So it was lovely actually shooting in a Spanish city, but being in a pretend bit of it that was supposed to be in an isolated planet.
It's great the way that it's been matched, it's been sort of superimposed into a cornfield as well, which I presume was in Cardiff as well.
That was in Wales, yeah. It looked, and we were very lucky with, I mean, obviously it was sunny in Spain, but you're never so quite guaranteed of the sun in Wales. But the days that we shot the cornfield, it was very sunny. And also I remember sitting there being in a break, sitting in the middle of a cornfield, some distance from the crew, and it was remarkably balming and sort of calming experience. It looked great.
In this episode, we get a rather unkind description of your run, of the Doctor running, a penguin with his arse on fire.
Yeah.
Now, be honest, this is a safe space.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Stephen is always very good at, he does it a lot with all members of the cast. You'll suddenly read a script and find another character describing something about you. Or in my case, it's the Doctor, but of course it's also Peter. Yeah. So it's not the Doctor's funny run, it's Peter's funny run. So no, I don't mind that, it's quite fun.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it's a terribly accurate description. I wouldn't describe it as a penguin.
No.
I think it's more elegant than that.
It's graceful, it's graceful.
Because a penguin's got little short arms, isn't it, like that. And so if it was on fire, it would be going like that.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. Yes. How would you describe it? Just.
A gazelle, majestically galloping across this Serengeti.
There we go. A gazelle.
A gazelle.
Well, this is an adventure where the Doctor almost gets it wrong. He nearly blows up a colony ship full of sleeping people. Is it important to tell stories like this where he's fallible?
No.
Interesting answer.
The reason I say that, I'm not just being glib, is that the Doctor has, because he's a Time Lord, has, I believe, the ability to see into the future and into the past and into all of the other corners of time. And so that I think he is aware of what happens in the future. So he knows everything. So it's a sort of conscious decision he makes to stop reading those ripples through time that come to him. I think it's wrong to measure him in human terms. So to say, he's feeling this way or that way about things, and that he's uptight, or he's relaxed, or he's annoyed. They're all not actually accurate measurements of what he is. So where I could say, oh, he's a bit more relaxed about himself, but that's only a shallow human measurement of a being that is way beyond our understanding.
Yeah.
And I think he enjoys the company of humans and enjoys being with them, but he's not human. So I think he fabricates elements of himself to make himself more understandable by them. But I don't think it's really how he feels.
You should write a book on this. I mean, this is. I mean, this. When we've gone quite deep now. This then. Well, I guess this then leads on.
I'm like a Victorian spiritualist.
I know.
Like ectoplasm is about.
I mean, should we discuss?
Is there anybody there? Not once, but twice.
I mean, shall we discuss? Do you think aliens exist? Do you think out there somewhere? They're there. We just can't comprehend what they might be like.
Oh no, I think I mean, you know, the thing is, they're going to discover alien life any moment now. But it's going to be like a germ or something. It's going to be something that's really not exciting, or a shrub or something. And it's going to be the most astonishing thing because of what it means. But yeah, I think so. I can't see why. You know, I think it's remarkably kind of arrogant to think we are the only life in this, you know, infinite universe. That this is the only planet where these elements have come together to create this thing that we are. I can't imagine that there are not other variations out there.
So hopefully one day we'll find a shrub on some planet, you know, millions of light years away. So right at the end of this episode, we see an elephant on the Thames. Yeah. So firstly, elephant on the Thames, amazing. Yeah. But also, what's really lovely is this sort of classic Who way of teasing the episode.
Yeah, because we don't normally do that anymore. We don't normally stumble into the first scene of the next episode. And also I like when one adventure is connected quite directly to the next one, because then that suggests when the next one's not connected, that there's a chunk of time in there in which anything could have happened, which a spin-off series could have happened.
Exactly. Well, exactly.
You know.
Yeah. And I guess what's lovely as well is those first, the first two so far. We've stuck with Bill. We're with her as she's meeting the Doctor and things are unfolding. Yes.
And the elephant was very well behaved.
So
was nice.
Did you see the elephant?
No.
Oh.
Someone stood with a laptop.
No.
Saying, "Here's a picture of an elephant." Yeah, I know what an elephant looks like. Thanks.
I thought there was an elephant. Oh, damn.
This is just to help you.
Oh dear. Oh. Well, thank you so much, Peter. And we have got one more thing. Would you like to play Top of the Locks?
I do. Top of the Locks, absolutely.
Roll Sting. So here is our Top of the Locks board, where we are measuring hair intensity. Intensity up the side here and episodes along the bottom. So last week, Stephen and Pearl rated the hairstyles. They seem to have placed you quite far down. Yeah. How do you feel about that?
I think they're being a bit unfair. I thought it was. I thought that my hair was much more interesting in episode 1 than this suggests. So I think they've been unfair. I mean, I think it increases as the series goes on.
Yes.
And obviously towards the climatic finale, it's very big.
Excellent.
In fact, it's threatening the universe.
That's what we're after. That's what we want. Can't wait.
I think it's a bit unfair because Top of the Locks is you and your hair, which is famously.
I can't compete with you now. I mean, I really can't compete with you now.
Yours is the best hair on telly. I've said that before, and it's true.
Thank you.
So we should have a picture of you, but we've got the real you in your hair here, so that's good enough. I don't think that the Spanish climate agreed with my hair terribly. Tended to dry out.
Oh no.
And then one would put product in it, perhaps too much.
Oh dear, oh no.
So my feeling is that in episode 2, my hair's a little unsure of itself. It's a little anxious.
Oh dear, oh dear.
I would rate it just a little bit lower, actually.
Oh.
Episode 2. Now, Dole has no hair, so he can go all the way down there.
Well, last week Stephen said he had invisible hair, which is why he...
That's a lot of men have got invisible hair. It's a product. I think I'd like to start selling that product. Pearl's always got wonderful hair.
Excellent.
So we'll put her hair up here at number 1. So I'm hoping that as the series, I'm looking for an increase in hair success.
Yes, oh, as am I. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We'll keep an eye on this over the next few weeks. So, Brian, this is all a bit awkward. 2 years ago, you gave us the green light for Doctor Who The Fan Show. Thank you very much, by the way.
I did, yeah.
But we've never had you on the show, so I'm really sorry about that. But we are so happy to have you here today.
I'm really happy to be here.
Thank you. So, I guess, first off, we should give you a chance to tell people what the other executive producer does, because you're far more involved with casting and storylining than I think a lot of fans realise. Is that right?
So my job is to work with Stephen across every aspect of a show, creatively, production-wise, and so together me and Stephen just make everything happen. Obviously Stephen is locked in his office a lot of the time, tapping away, doing everything he does fantastically. So it's my job to work with the producers and all the departments to make all the fantastic ideas and dreams all our writers have into the episodes.
Wow, so you're kind of like, almost like the sort of thread that kind of stitches everything together, makes sure everything, all the parts link?
The best bit of a job is at the very early stages when Stephen's got ideas and other writers like Frank Cottrell Boyce or Mike Bartlett or Sarah Dollard come in. It's kind of shaping the early thoughts we have and kind of guiding that process into what the episodes become. That's the really fun bit. And then it's kind of getting together the cast, the directors, working out, you know, we always set ourselves a huge challenge with each episode. We never start off knowing how we can do it. Like, how do you do a future city in a way that works for, you know, TV in 2017? How do you do a Victorian ice fair? So then it's kind of working out how to make those dreams a reality.
What was it about Pearl that stood out to you in that audition?
It's just how her and Peter worked together was just dynamite. I mean, what you've seen in episode 1 and episode 2 and what you'll see coming was there from the first time they met. And there's something about her, she feels so modern, she feels so funny. She just felt like a perfect Doctor Who companion to us. And we felt lucky because she hadn't really done much TV before. So we were like, look, we've got to do Pearl's first show. And you know, she's fantastic.
I mean, I've really enjoyed how this episode and episode 1 really focuses on the Doctor and Bill's relationship. What was the thinking behind this?
I think we wanted to really cement Bill as the new companion, and to kind of, we had this fantastic dynamic between them, and we kind of wanted to show off with that.
Yeah.
And I think by the end of the first 2 episodes, there's absolutely no doubt this is the Peter and Pearl show.
Definitely is. Smile featured some stunning location work at City of the Arts and Sciences in Valencia. So what was it like shooting there, and what are the challenges in moving an entire production team abroad?
Well, quite unusually for us, we actually found that location last season when we were looking for places to shoot episode 1 and 2 last year. The location manager and the Spanish location managers had said, there's this place in Valencia which is amazing. It didn't suit a Dalek city at all. So, yeah. But we always thought, well, if we need to do a future city, that should be fantastic. Moving cast and crew to Spain for a week is a huge amount of work. I can't take any credit for that. That was Pete Bennett and Tracy Simpson and Steph, our fantastic team. But it was something we knew we were doing it for a while, so we were able to plan it. And then it becomes down to detail, like we had the people inside the emoji bots. Sorry for our people. And it was kind of 34 degrees. They were going around inside these emoji bots. So.
Well, some of the pictures that came from set, you know, a few of the Peter and Pearl were just absolutely drenched. It must have been.
It was really hot. It was really hot.
Do you think tiny robots or technology could end up obliterating mankind Terminator style?
Frank was always very keen not to say that technology was the problem, but it's kind of how we use technology.
Yes.
And so he didn't just want to go, there's evil technology out there. And I think he's right, because, you know, that's quite an old-fashioned thing to do, to be scared of technology. But it's how we've tried to use it.
Yeah.
And I think it came from Frank when he'd read quite a lot of research around kind of where technology's heading, and the idea that things can read emotions and manipulate emotions is talked about a lot as the next stage of kind of robotics and the next stage of AI. And it's not the robots itself at fault, it's what we've tried to get them to do.
Exactly. And finally, what emoji would you use to rate this interview?
Happy.
Yay!
Confused. Confused. Happy and confused. My daughter's in school, she's 5. They have 3 emojis, and when they go in the morning, they're meant to take their name and say, are you happy, sad or grumpy?
That's amazing.
So that everyone knows when you start the day. And wouldn't it be great if like all work places had that? So you just knew, okay, well today Crystal, oh, she's grumpy today. Let's just stay away.
Just leave her
for a
alone.
bit.
Just leave her alone.
Just
I want
let's be
that at
nice.
work. Get it installed. Need that. That is incredible. Well, thank you so much, Brian, for coming on the show and talking to us. We seem to have lost Luke down the back of the internet this week, but we presume he'll be back next week. In the meantime, if you have anything you'd like to share with us, please email dwthefanshow@bbc.com or tweet @dwthefanshow. Next week, we'll be chatting to Sarah Dollard about why there's an elephant on the Thames. To see a preview of Thin Ice, you can click here. And to subscribe to the official Doctor Who YouTube channel, you can click here. We'll see you next week. Bye!